Hey everyone, happy Sunday. Hope your weekend's going well. Back for component 2 of the multi-component model of authenticity from Kearness and Goldman. The other day I talked about the first component, which is self-awareness. Today we'll talk about the second component, which is unbiased processing. So what is unbiased processing? If you watch any of my other stuff, I'll talk about one of the great gifts that I get from meditation is the ability to kind of zoom the lens out on a situation. And that, what that means is kind of being able to have a little bit more of an objective view on what's happening, what's coming at me, than if I weren't in a place that I was more centered and aware. There's this really good book called Man's Search for Meaning by an author named Viktor Frankl. And Viktor Frankl talks about, I'm literally just doing this my way in terms of what he says here, but it's the idea that counts. So if you want to look up the exact quote, please do so, because I don't have it memorized. But the idea is that the space between a stimulus and a response is really the barometer of our spiritual condition in that moment. So in other words, thing happens. I, instead of immediately reacting, have the capacity to pause, hold space, probably gain some more centered perspective, and then respond. And that's what this second component is talking about. Because really, if we're trying to get to our authentic self, we need to be able to take in positive, negative stimulus and react appropriately to them. An example of that for me would be, I got feedback that I need to be closer to the camera when I make these videos. And if I'm not in a good space and I get that constructive criticism, my immediate response will be to disregard it. And then also probably to try to build a case against the person who gave me the constructive criticism to devalue their opinion, right? But if I'm in a place where I am centered and aware, my perspective is unbiased, when that information comes in, well, then I have the capacity to sit with it, evaluate it objectively, look at it through a clear lens, and then make a determination whether it's of value or not. So that's component 2. Next time we'll do component 3. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys soon.